Yo, what is going on, Cover One crew? Welcome back to the show. Hope everybody's good. Last week we pivoted a little bit, went to the rankings to see where I value these players. Let's dive back into Mock Draft Monday because it's awesome. We've done pick number 1, pick number 5, 7, and 12. And now we're going to do pick number 3 today, see what team we can get. And I think that's the goal. Before training camp, see how many mocks we can get, and then pivot afterward based on values, based on injuries, etc., etc. So let's go, man. Dive into this draft room. Let's go pick number 3 on Mock Draft Monday. So like I'm saying, similar rules apply. 12-team half PPR snake, 2 minute per pick, 15 rounds, no defense, no kickers. Pick number 3. Let's see what team we can generate. And it was picking the wide receivers on the last one, I think, outside of CMC going number 3. So Tyreek Hill, JJ, Amon-Ra. I mean, again, you guys know me. I'm going to stick with my running backs. I kind of went to the wide receivers a little bit more on that last one. I picked number 7. I like my running backs, and you know what? I haven't had Bijan yet, so I'm going to take me some Bijan Robinson because I love to get my running backs. I think it's the best way to build it even this season. Yes, there is some depth at the running back spot, but see, now all the wide receivers get snagged. That's why a lot of people are thinking, okay, first round, get your wide out. But I think, you know, a talent like Bijan, we know it's, well, they're saying, we don't know. They're saying they're going to utilize him just like CMC. We shall see who we get here at wide receiver because all the big dogs have been took. IU, Collins, I'm going to wait again. So here, because of pick number 3, I get the turn. You go and get yourself another running back, and see, it's falling to me very similarly. I know a lot of y'all on the Devin off the Achane bandwagon. I love me some Achane. You guys know this. I was super promotive of him last year as a rookie. And you know what, though, Derrick Henry in this offense, I think Bijan and Derrick Henry as a 1-2 punch with those Baltimore Ravens is going to be absolutely stellar. And we can still get Jalen Hurts if we wanted to take a quarterback at that point. We're not taking running backs here. And then big Mike Evans, Nico Collins. I love me some Mike Evans this year. Yes, to be your wide receiver 1 kind of is like the, is it going to continue to be like it was last year with a Baker Mayfield? I do believe so. I think that they're going to do very well once again this season in Tampa Bay. Mike signed that big deal to stay in Tampa, which is good news. But, you know, to be your wide receiver 1 at his age, I still think it's still going to put up very, very solid numbers over the 1,000 yards, 10 TDs, almost automatic at that point. You got DK Metcalf. You know, I don't typically take my tight ends early, was promotive of Mark Andrews in those tight end rankings as well, but I don't like taking my tight ends that early. DK Metcalf, and I mean, Mr., you know, it wasn't as consistent as we wanted it to see. George Pickens down there, absolutely love that as well. You can still triple back for a running back here, and I might do that as well. Go get myself either Joe Mixon, Alvin Kamara. I still love the PPR upside 4 in Alvin Kamara. I know a lot of y'all don't, but I'm going to bucket a little bit. I'm going to go DK Metcalf. I think he does have something. It was a good season last year, but I think it's going to be even better this year. Yes, there, you know, a little bit of transition of how they do. But see, I should have went Alvin Kamara because that way you're looking at, you know, value to the running back potential. There's David Montgomery. We know he's going to get his goal line upside. Aaron Jones, I'm a little bit promotive of, but I am a little skittish because if it doesn't work well with the quarterbacks, he's going to see a haircut big time in his statistical achievement. Trey McBride is there with the Dalton Kincaid. I highly doubt Kincaid falls to me back on the turn, so we'll see. I mean, I should have went Kamara, and then I still probably could have got, you know what, I'm going to go George Pickens. Let's go crazy and go George a little bit higher than consensus because I think that in this offense, it's going to be pretty good in Pittsburgh. I think that, you know, Russell Wilson, yes, okay, the decline is coming. We see it. But I think that, you know, playing with a guy like Pickens, we saw some, you know, videos of him running his routes. He's improving. He's got lighter feet, it looks like. I mean, I do like what I see from George Pickens. Always been a fan. Najee Harris at the running back spot. So this is the problem. When we're talking about not taking enough running backs, now it starts to get a little pick clean. Now you got Najee. I don't want that because I got a George Pickens. Zeus, he should see a lot of carries. Zeus White. But I'm telling you, man, I would have rather have had, instead of Metcalf, go Alvin Kamara. Hopefully Metcalf fell to me here in the 5th round, and I would have been much happier with that. But it is what it is. I mean, we're trying to mock it out and see what we can do. Kyler Murray, Dak Prescott, Jordan Love. I think I'll wait for my quarterback once again down the board. I am a big fan of Trevor Lawrence, Zeus White. I see now I'm kind of forced to go in the wide receiver mode. I'm going to go wide receiver heavy and go get me some scary Terry McLaurin. And I think it's going to be very good with Jaden Daniels at quarterback to get Scary Terry. It's going to be very good. I'm going to go Jordan Love here on the turn as well. I don't think that getting a running back at this point is going to be uplifting of my roster, where now I'm going to have to go bargain shopping a little bit down that board when it comes to my running backs. Yes, Kyler should have a good year, but I'm all in on Jordan Love. Feeling the love to love once again this season. I'm a big fan of what the Green Bay Packers are doing. I think the youth movement is absolutely stellar. Jordan Love showcased the fact that he can be trusted as a quarterback. Put up a lot of points, man, over 300 points last year, and I'm pretty sure, double check me on that one, but he had a fantastic season last year, and I'm definitely still on board with a Jordan Love. It's a good cast of characters I'm building right now. Again, I wait for my tight ends. I like Pat Freiermuth down that board just a little bit. Austin Ekeler, so here we go. Now we're bargain shopping for value at the running back spot, hoping that something's going to pan out, and I don't dislike an Austin Ekeler here in the 8th round. I think that is good value. He's going to still have his role. Even though, see, I'm going against my own wishes of having, two players of the same team when it's not a quarterback, a wide receiver, a running back. I don't like doing that when you're double backing with the same team, because now you kind of put your eggs all in one basket when it comes to the team success. Trey Benson's also one that I do like a lot, but I could go back to the well, get a wide receiver, do the, Christian Watson, Jordan Love effect. I do like that as well, but I really feel like I got to get some running backs here as well. I do like me some Trey Benson, the rookie. I think he's going to have a very good season as well. Don't think he'll come back to me if I don't pick him, but do I want a Christian Watson to do the double back? You know what? I'm going to go Trey Benson. I think he's an exciting rookie. He's got lots of wheels. The James Conner effect, okay, he's going to start out the season. If Conner, we know he goes down with injury, Trey Benson could be one of the best handcuffs in the league this year for potential upside and opportunity when it comes to volume if a Conner does go down, with how the Cardinals are trying to revamp their offense. They got Marvin Harrison Jr., Kyler Murray back, obviously. So, I mean, it's going to be good. See, bargain shopping for these backs, I don't like it. Bijan Henry are going to have to carry the team at the running back spot. If they do get injured, that's going to be a massive problem for this team. Pat Freiermuth, the Moose, Cole Kmet. I do like Cole Kmet a lot too, but I do like the fact that Pat Freiermuth, I could probably wait on him as well. He's down that board. So, going back to the running back, Zeke Elliott, really in Dallas, I'm not a huge fan, huge supporter. Jerome Ford's actually a good one as well, because we do know that Nick Chubb is going to be dealing with that injury once again with the ACL. So I'm going to go a little Jerome Ford here. I think it's a little high at the 10th round. But based on how this board fell, I have to go and, take my running backs at this spot, and I can't look back. So I don't think Pat Freiermuth is going to come back to me. Can I get somebody down the board? You're really scraping at the bottom of the barrel of tight ends. I'm huge on Pat Freiermuth when it comes to touchdown upside. Sucks again because I took another Pittsburgh Steeler because I got George Pickens. So I'm not really doing well in terms of what I don't like to do. I'm kind of going against myself. But at least we have the players on the team that should have the highest level of upside when it comes to TD upside, especially for a Pat Freiermuth as well. What do we got for my team right now? We got Bijan, Henry, Evans, Metcalf, Pickens, McLaurin, Love, Ekeler. Okay, so we can go any which way now. We can still go wide receivers. You got Jerry Jeudy. That's an interesting one as well, even though his career has not necessarily materialized to the likes that we would have anticipated. It's still decent. Running backs basically pick clean at this point. This is why I'm going to continue to preach it. You got to go and get your running backs early and often. And I think that's what wins you the fantasy championship this year as well. Even in the half PPR, full PPR leagues, get the running backs that do have the upside. Jerry Jeudy, I'm going to take him. Take a flyer on Jeudy. Hopefully he does pan out in Cleveland with a Deshaun Watson. And again, here we go. We're going to go hedge bet on some maybe some backup running backs. Marshawn Lloyd, potentially a good rookie in Green Bay as well. Tyler Algier. Vidal in Los Angeles. I mean, he might have a role, but again, those running backs are absolutely picked clean. So you're just going to continue to stack your wide receivers. The value for Josh Palmer here in the 13th round is absolutely stellar if these Los Angeles Chargers don't, buck the trend and we see what chemistry building does happen for a Justin Herbert. We're paused here for some reason on this draft board. There we go. Computer got stuck and it went all the way through. But, I mean, I do like Palmer in this offense. Now the fact that he's going to likely see a heaping of target share from a Herbie. And I mean, here we go. Now we're getting really low on the running backs. Hopefully, I did enough hedge betting in that sense to get some good running back appeal. Luke McCaffrey, decent one, waiver wire pickup probably down the line. Do I want to get a second tight end? I don't really care for that as well. Don't ever usually take a second quarterback. So you see, it is very interesting. I would have actually liked the value deeper down the board when it comes to your wide receiver depth, where it is Adam Thielen, Darnell Mooney. You can see the value that you can obtain here. Wandale even playing there, I think, could be a good one. Later down the line, a Jalen McMillan, Brendan Rice. There is options here, so I'm going to go Darnell Mooney at this point, and then maybe go back and try to get a running back that I can, at least handcuff like a Khalil Herbert. I understand DeAndre Swift is there, but Khalil Herbert in the final round is absolutely killer value. Anything happens to a Swift, it's going to be Khalil Herbert and Roschon, so they're going to be split in touches. Could be a three-headed monster in Chicago as well. Do not hate this club, but I think I made a few mistakes where I would have rather had an Alvin Kamara over DK Metcalf. Hopefully Metcalf would have fallen to me in that, fourth round. So as we sit today, quarterback-wise, or we'll talk running backs, Bijan Robinson, number 1 overall, and I like it. I mean, back with Derrick Henry, I do got probably one of the 2 best 1-2 punches in the league when it's going to come to volume and upside and TDs and PPR upside for Bijan. Very good, stellar stats are going to come from these running backs. There is no question. Mike Evans as my wide receiver 1. I would have liked to have somebody different, but I prefer Mike as my wide receiver 2, but I don't hate it as a wide receiver 1 because his stats will always be there. DK Metcalf, George Pickens, very good 1, 2, 3. I do like the wide receivers. Lots of upside with a George Pickens this year. Scary Terry McLaurin, he's always been that dog. It's just he's disappointing when it comes to consistency. Now that he's got a Jaden Daniels rookie quarterback, hopefully that does bring this offense to the fold, and Terry gets the most out of what we believe he is. He's a dog, man. He's one of the lesser elite talented wide receivers in this league. Y'all know it. Jordan Love, my quarterback, feeling love for love. I believe I've taken Jordan Love at least 3 times in these mocks because it's just the value falls to you very appropriately here, and I think it's still being massively slept on when it comes to Jordan Love. The stats that he put out, why are you thinking he's going to regress in year 2? I think that they figured a lot of things out last year, and the youth movement in this offense does look very good. Added a Josh Jacobs to be more consistent in the run game, so I do like it quite a bit, man. You got Austin Eckler, Trey Benson, Jerome Ford as your 1, 2, 3 running backs here from round 8 to round 10. And this is depth purposes. I do believe that Austin Eckler will still have a decent role, even though Brian Robinson is there. I think they will split a lot of touches. Eckler will have a PPR upside role. But again, I have Terry. Now I have Eckler. Don't like that because now you're going to have to be guessing which one you want to play. Can you play them both every single week? Perhaps as the season goes on. But in any new offense, it is always scary. Trey Benson, a fantastic handcuff running back for a James Conner. I do like that a lot. The value for him at round 9 is great. He could absolutely come in. Even the fact that within the first 5-6 weeks of the season, we can start to see him uplift his carries as well and get into the games with these Cardinals. And if Connor does go down, Benson's going to be one of these guys you got to love. Absolutely. Jerome Ford likely going to be the number 1 running back again in Cleveland because Nick Chubb's ACL. We'll see how that does shake down. We got to know with what we know today, and I am still very fearful of a Nick Chubb and that ACL injury. Pat Freiermuth as my tight end, like I said, hopefully that it does come to fruition and come to pass. This man didn't drop a red zone touchdown pass in his entire career playing football. I think he might have dropped one last year, but it's because of the poor quarterback play. Now you got Russell Wilson, you got Justin Fields. TD upside is definitely here. Jerry Jeudy taking a flyer. I'm not expecting a lot of things. I just thought the value at this point was a lot better. Could have went Cooks, could have went Gabe Davis, but I don't dislike Jerry Jeudy. Kind of wanted one share of him at this point. I'm not expecting a whole heaping of it, but I mean, if he does pan out, that's going to be a score in round 12. Josh Palmer, lots of wide receiver upside, number 1 numbers. You got to believe he's got the best chemistry with a Herbert, and picking at round 13 is an absolute steal for y'all. Do not sleep on a Palmer. Darnell Mooney, been always getting him in the latter parts of these drafts. Will it pan out? We will see. And then Khalil Herbert to round it out to be my handcuff potential split carry running back with those Chicago Bears. I don't hate this team. I wish I would have done one thing differently, but this team definitely does look good on paper. So there you have it. That is Mock Draft Monday, pick number 3. I don't dislike this team, like I'm saying. There is some things I would have made a little bit different, but again, a little bit of thought process on real draft day. I probably would have slowed it down and would have, thought about it just a little bit more. But I do like this team, and I think it would be extremely competitive, especially with the 2 elite running backs that I do have. But nevertheless, as always, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, jump in those comments, give me your thoughts, and we'll see you next time. I am out.